Welcome to this tutorial on Kotlin Coroutines Channels. In this video, we'll explore how channels enable seamless communication between coroutines. Channels are a powerful mechanism that allows coroutines to send and receive streams of data to each other in a structured and type-safe manner. By the end of this tutorial, you'll understand how to use channels effectively in your Kotlin projects. So, what exactly are channels? Channels are communication pipelines that allow coroutines to send and receive data to each other. Think of them as message queues between coroutines. Just like a postal service where one person sends mail and another receives it, channels act as a mailbox where one coroutine deposits data and another coroutine retrieves it. This enables efficient and organized data exchange in concurrent programming. Creating a channel in Kotlin is straightforward. First, you need to import the channel class from kotlinks.coroutines.channels. Then, you create a channel by calling the channel constructor with a type parameter. For example, val_channel equals channel of int creates a channel that can transfer integer values between coroutines. This is the foundation for establishing communication between your concurrent tasks. Once you have a channel, you can send data to it from a coroutine. Inside a launch block, you use the send function to transmit values. For instance, channel.send of 10, channel.send of 20, and channel.send of 30 will send 3 integers to the channel. It's important to note that the send function is a suspending function, which means it will suspend the coroutine if the channel is full, implementing a natural backpressure mechanism. On the receiving side, another coroutine can retrieve data from the channel. Inside a launch block, you call the receive function on the channel. For example, val_value equals channel.receive will retrieve the next available value from the channel and store it in the value variable. You can then print or process this value. Like send, receive is also a suspending function that will pause the coroutine if the channel is empty until new data arrives. Let's look at a complete working example. Inside a run blocking block, we first create a channel of type string. Then, we launch one coroutine that sends the string hello to the channel. Simultaneously, we launch another coroutine that receives data from the channel and prints it. This demonstrates the basic producer-consumer pattern where one coroutine produces data and another consumes it through the channel. Channels in Kotlin support different capacity types that control their buffering behavior. Rendezvous is the default capacity with a value of 0, where the sender must wait for a receiver to be ready. Buffered channels have a fixed capacity, and the sender will block only when the buffer is full. Unlimited channels never block the sender as they have an unbounded buffer, but you need to be careful about memory usage. Finally, conflated channels keep only the latest value, discarding older ones that haven't been consumed yet. Let's see how a buffered channel works. When you create a channel with a specific capacity, such as channel of int with capacity 3, you can send up to 3 items without any suspension. For example, you can call channel.send of 1, channel.send of 2, and channel.send of 3, and all 3 will be buffered immediately. However, when you attempt to send a 4th item, the send function will suspend until a receiver consumes at least 1 item from the buffer, freeing up space. When you're done sending data through a channel, you should close it by calling the close function. Calling channel.close signals to receivers that no more elements will be sent through this channel. It's important to understand that receivers can still retrieve any buffered elements that were sent before closing. However, attempting to send data after closing the channel will throw an exception, so always close channels carefully. Kotlin provides a convenient way to consume all elements from a channel using a for loop. You can write for item in channel, followed by your processing logic like println of item. This loop will automatically receive and process each element as it becomes available. The loop will continue until the channel is closed and all buffered elements have been consumed. This is a clean and idiomatic way to handle streaming data from channels.
If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit codelucky.com for more such useful content.